Look, don't shoot me. I'm just a messenger. Now, let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever been in a relationship where the person was physically there, but emotionally, they were nowhere to be found? Meaning, they may text you, they may sit next to you, they may even say I love you, but when it's time to open up, they just shut down. Or maybe, if you're honest, you've been that person. Well, today we're going to talk about something that's either going to build your relationship or slowly destroy it from the inside out. And that's going to be called emotional availability. So by the end of this video, you're going to understand why it matters, why people struggle with it, and how you can grow in it. So let's get right to it. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is what emotional availability is. So let's define it. Now, being emotionally available means you have the ability to be open, present, and responsive emotionally. This means you can express how you feel, you can receive how someone else feels, and you don't run when things get deep. You see, it's not about emotions all the time. No, it's about being accessible emotionally when it matters. So I have to ask you, are you someone people can come to emotionally, or do people feel like they have to walk on eggshells when you're around? All right, now I want to talk about why emotional availability is so important. Number one, it builds trust. You see, trust isn't just about cheating or loyalty. Trust is, can I be my real self with you? Because if your partner feels like they can't open up, they're going to be judged or ignored, what's going to happen is they're going to start slowly closing off. And once emotional trust is broken, the relationship begins to feel unsafe. Number two, it creates real intimacy. You see, let's be real, a lot of people confuse physical connection with emotional intimacy. Because you can be physically close to someone and still feel all alone, because real intimacy is being seen, being heard, and being understood. And guess what? That only happens when both parties are emotionally available. Number three, it improves communication. You see, most arguments in relationships aren't about the issue. They're either about miscommunication, assumptions, or emotional reactions. So if you're emotionally unavailable, you're either going to shut down, get defensive, or avoid the conversation. But when you're emotionally available, you listen to understand. You can express without attacking a person, and you can solve a problem without escalating the situation. And number four, it prevents emotional distance. You see, relationships don't just end suddenly. They drift apart slowly and silently. And the biggest reason for that is emotional neglect. You see, if a person feels emotionally disconnected long enough, they're going to either do one or two things. That's withdraw or look for a connection somewhere else. All right, now we're about to get real and check ourselves. We're about to talk about the signs of emotional unavailability. All right, you might be emotionally unavailable if you avoid deep conversations, if you change the subject when anything gets serious, if you struggle to express your feelings, if you shut down during conflict, if you're always trying to joke instead of being real, if you fear being vulnerable or open to people because it makes you feel weak, or if you keep people at a distance. Now be honest, which one of these hit you the hardest? Now I want to talk about why people struggle with emotional availability. Now it's deeper than just a behavior, it's rooted. Meaning it can be rooted in past hurt, meaning you opened up before and got hurt and then you said never again. Or it can be a fear of vulnerability, because being open means risking rejection. And a lot of people rather feel in control than feel exposed. Or it can be from your upbringing. If you grew up in a home where emotions weren't expressed or communication was unhealthy, you weren't taught this. Or it can be pride and ego. You see, some people just don't simply open up because they don't want to feel weak. But the truth is, you closing yourself off don't make you strong, it makes you disconnected. Or it can even be how culture conditioned us, especially men. We were taught to man up, be tough, don't cry. So instead of us expressing our feelings, we suppress them. But guess what? Suppressed feelings don't disappear. They either show up in anger, frustration, or distance. All right, so now that we found out the root of the problem, let's talk about how we can solve this problem and become more emotionally available. So let's get practical. The first thing you're going to have to do is identify how you feel. Meaning you have to stop saying, I'm just mad. But you got to ask yourself, am I hurt, insecure, or rejected? Because guess what? You can't communicate what you don't understand. Number two, practice being vulnerable. Listen, you don't have to spill everything out. Start small. For example, that actually bothered me. Or I felt hurt when that happened. That's a good start. Number three, be present. Now, I'm working on this myself. This means put your phone down, look at them in the eyes, and listen without coming up with your response, because presence is what builds connection. Number 4, communicate without attacking. This means instead of saying, "You always doing this," say, "Babe, I feel like this when that happened." This shift is going to change everything. And last but not least, number 5, we have to do the inner work, because the truth is, a lot of us don't need better communication. We need healing. And healing can look like journaling to yourself, doing reflections, talking to somebody, praying, growing your spiritual life. Because guess what? If you don't heal, you're going to bleed on someone who didn't even cut you. So let me leave you with this. A relationship can survive a lot of things, but it would not thrive without emotional connection. You can have money, looks, chemistry, and charisma, but if there's no emotional availability, guess what? Eventually somebody's going to feel lonely in that relationship. And loneliness in the inside of a relationship is one of the worst feelings ever. So my final question is, are you creating a safe place for someone to be emotionally open, or are you the reason they feel shut down? If this helped you, drop a comment saying, "I'm working on being emotionally available," and share this with somebody who needs it. As always, I hope this helped one person. I will be back at you again tomorrow with another one. Until then, I need you to keep your head on the swivel, love yourself, and only help who wants to be helped. I love y'all. I'm out.